When you have to remember this all your life.
That's tipped, and that's a fifth pick of the game by Dwight Smith. And again, Dwight Smith is going to take it down the sideline into the end zone. Wow. Just as I'm learning that Dexter Jackson has been named the most valuable player of the game for his 2 picks, Dwight Smith gets his second touchdown.
And I'll tell you, and he's playing because, again, that's the defense that the Bucs played this whole game. Was 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, and Dwight Smith was that 5th or extra defensive back.
So what do we do? Have a recount?
Yeah, send those votes back. I'll vote for Dwight Smith. No, but I think, I mean, stay with mine. I mean, Dexter Jackson, and congratulations to him and everyone. But this thing was won and controlled by the defensive line. That's where it all started for this Buck team.
And I know it's Florida, and I know it's hanging chads and all that stuff, but Jackson's 2 picks were hugely important. I mean, this is a cosmetic pick right here by Smith. Yeah.
Well, he jumped and hurt his knee, and then he wasn't jumping anymore. You know, he'd just go through a little something.
With the last 2 in the playoffs, and they have saved the very best for last. And it will be over with the tackle of Chris Cooper here. From 0-26 to Super Bowl champions. And on a day that started so ingloriously, 48-21.
You just had the feeling that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came in here to really play a championship game, to really play for a world championship. And for whatever reason, I didn't think that the Raiders could get up to that level to match it. And I know all those players and coaches are thinking, and you know, that they can never say, when you win the Super Bowl, they can never say you can't win the big one. They can say things about you, but you know, and that's what these players are thinking. And Simeon Rice right there, you say, yeah, he's a good player, but he's never won the big one. Well, they won't be saying those things anymore. Warren Sapp, you know, like, yeah, he's a great player, but where's your ring? John Lynch, 10 years, where's your ring? Now they can say, here's my ring.
It's funny, you think of the defense, and they were the stars today, but they put up 48 points. Granted, a lot of them created by the defense, but also a word of praise from Michael Pittman, who, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Super Bowl champions.
Come over. At this time, the Commissioner of the National Football League, Mr. Paul Tagliabue.
Malcolm, for you, for your entire family, your whole organization, your players, and especially for the Buccaneers fans, this has been a remarkable year. Starting with Coach Gruden, coming to Tampa Bay, and ending with today's convincing Super Bowl victory over an outstanding Raiders team. Congratulations, you're now the world's champion.
Thank you so much. First, I want to thank Coach for what he did. He came from heaven, and he brought us to heaven. The next, I want the players. We got the greatest players in the whole world. They're the Tampa Buccaneers. If you haven't heard about them, you heard about them today. And then the fans. We got the best fans in the whole world. Tampa Bay! Tampa Bay! Tampa Bay! We love you!
Mr. Glazer, 2 years ago, your city hosted the Super Bowl. Last year at Super Bowl time, everybody was asking all of you about the coaching vacancy. It's been a long 12 months since, but how rewarding is it for all of you now?
We're waiting for the right man, and the right man came, John Gruden.
Well, let's bring him up, Coach. Coach Gruden, come on in here. Get your hands on that trophy, John. youngest coach to ever win the Super Bowl, John Gruden. John, all the talk this week about your familiarity with Oakland, did it help you in the game plan, helping Monty Kiffin in the defense, setting up for tonight?
All overrated. I stayed away from the defense. It's a credit to our players. We've got a great defensive club, and I'm so happy for the city of Tampa and these great football players. That's what it's all about today.
John, so much of this year has been about you and coming over from the Raiders. Your team played with offensive confidence that you didn't have earlier in the season, here in the playoffs. What turned it around offensively for you?
I think just time. We got more and more acclimated as the season unfolded. We're going to get a lot better, and I can promise you that, but that's exciting for us.
Expectations are always high when there's a lot of money and draft picks spent to get a head coach. There was a lot of pressure as well. Has it sunk in yet how special the moment is?
No, I knew it was going to be a very sensitive situation. Again, Tony Dungy did a great job, and I reaped the benefits of a lot of his hard work. But by God, this is Tampa Bay's night, and we're world champions. I'm going to enjoy it.
Congratulations, John.
Good night.
We will have the Super Bowl XXXVII MVP award presented by Cadillac as we continue with the celebration for the Buccaneers here from San Diego, and more John Bon Jovi at the Super Bowl.
Bowl XXXVII MVP award presented by Cadillac.
Thank you, Chris. Dexter Jackson, MVP. You had 4 tackles in 2 playoff games. Tonight, 2 interceptions, and now a piece of Super Bowl history as the 8th person, 7th time a defensive player has won the MVP. Did you think that there were big plays out there for you coming into the game?
Yes, I knew it was big plays. Gannon, he loved to throw. And, you know, me and some of my friends, we was watching TV, ESPN, and everybody was picking their Super Bowl MVP. And I was like, hey, man, they picking the MVP. We have to play the game. I can be a difference in this game. And I told somebody I'm going to be the MVP, and, you know, they ran up to me and you told me you was going to be the MVP. And, you know, I just want to say thanks to everybody, Tampa Bay organization, for giving me a chance. Hey, yeah, we champs.
Dexter, we're watching some of your interceptions. Hey, let me tell you, you were a quarterback coming out of high school, and Florida State wanted you to play quarterback, turned you into a safety. It's got to be sweet to be a safety now and hold this trophy as a champion.
Well, they say safeties have to have good hands, and I think I have good hands, as you can see.
Well, you can put your hands around the steering wheel of a Cadillac as the Super Bowl MVP.
For the touchdown that seals the victory, what's going through your mind?
All game long, I've been one step away, and I knew he was going to try at some point down the field to get it. And I just thank God I was able to step in front of the pass, and I just took off running like I've been doing since I was a little kid.
Yeah, it's become an old hat for you these days. Simeon, when you look at all the great defenses in the NFL, you know, you think of the '85 Bears, you think of the 2000 Ravens, the Steel Curtain. Where do you guys rank?
We got a combination of guys that represent what they are. As you see, Derek went out and made big plays today. He did what he do. Big Warren guy out there did what he do. We got guys, a combination of great guys, classic level. This is truly a classic defense. You got to tip your hat. Definitely, I do, to this defense, definitely.
You do have to tip your hat. Congratulations, guys. Let's go over to Lynn Swan.
Boys, Keyshawn Johnson and Brad Johnson, congratulations to both of you. Brad, I want to take you back to that first series. When you throw, you get hit. You can't put anything on the ball. You throw the interception. What goes through your mind when you get back to the bench before you get the next series?
It's always one play at a time. Let it go. We actually we went through this in San Fran, went through this in Philly, and we just don't panic. Don't get caught up into one play. Treat the next play as if it's the best play that we got out there. We got better as the game went on, especially in the we got hot, and one bad play affect the rest of the plays.
Seemed like Michael Pittman kind of picked it up, was getting you some tough yardage on the ground.
He really was, and our running game really picked up right there. We converted a lot of our third downs. We got the run down to short, to second, third, medium, and he had a tremendous day. Our offensive line played awesome today. Didn't have one sack all day.
All right, Keyshawn, first time in your 7-year career you've had the same quarterback 2 consecutive years. This is a whole new beginning for you.
Oh yeah, it is. I plan on having him for a 3rd consecutive year. So, you know, it's just, Brad, you can't say enough about Brad. Brad didn't get credit from anybody all year long. Late our fans with all the big support came through for Brad, and he led us to victory.
All right, you talked about validation. You have it here. And, Chris, it's a whole new ball game in Tampa Bay now.
That is for sure, Swanee. The team that invented losing is now the biggest winner in football. We'll be back with more from the Cadillac postgame show after this message and a word from our ABC ABC station.